What I love about playing for Cal State San Marcos is the environment of this place. The whole community around this school has been very awesome and very supportive. It's been tough because I've definitely had a lot of late nights. You know, there's a lot of staying up super late, studying or doing homework. Coming here, I'm working 30+ hours a week, and then I'm also playing soccer every single day, and I'm also balancing about generally 16 to 18 units a semester. I took on business marketing, and now I'm going into my senior year. I came here for a visit and I fell in love with the school immediately. You know, the coaches are great. I've always loved the coaches. I think they do like a great job with us, and also with the team, because the team, like, I can call any of them one of my brothers. You know, like, I'm always with them constantly. I was lucky enough to be able to be a freshman on the starting squad from game one. I stay determined to get my good grades so that I get the the right education to be able to lead me into the future. Because I'm a marketing major, I would love to do like sports marketing. You know, I've grown up with it all my life, that I think sports marketing would be like fitting for me because I know so much about it. I would love to move on to different teams, maybe like a professional development team, or straight to the professional level. I think that'd be very awesome. The fact that the donors are able to help us, I thank them a lot, because it doesn't put as much stress on us for having to pay for these classes or having to take out a loan, pull out more money for this. It really helps us out.
I grew up just right outside the Navajo reservation. Growing up, I would always see like the Navajo Code Talkers, and my uncle was a Marine, so I always had that influence and I always looked up to them, and I knew that one day I wanted to be Marine. I feel like it's an honor, and it's something that I think is rooted deep with our tribe. I always wondered, what am I going to do with my life after high school? I kind of had to hit the ground running and figure out how I'm going to support my son. And I wanted more opportunities for my son, and I felt like the Marine Corps would give me that. When he got to high school, my wife told me, she was like, why don't you go back to school now? She graduated from Cal State San Marcos while I was in the Marine Corps. And I've always been interested in video and audio and like sound design. So I thought, hey, I'll do that here. The education that I'm getting here and the work that I'm putting into it, I try not to take it for granted. My son's going to be going to college this fall, and he sees how I handle my homework, juggling work and family, and I feel like me doing that sets a good example for him. Scholarships have been a real instrumental part in me being able to continue my education. Working, being a student, and being a father, I mean, there's so many other responsibilities, and you're like financially stressed out too. With the scholarships, it kind of alleviates some of that stress. I was the first to graduate from high school, so I'll be the first to graduate with a 4-year degree. It's helped me, it's helped my son. It may be something small, but it does mean a lot to me.
Resiliency, I think I coined the term with my life. I think the word resilient is Brittany's word that describes my entire being. Well, I came into foster care when I was about 8. Unfortunately, my childhood doesn't have too many rainbows and lollipops and a peachy picture with a white picket fence. My childhood has a lot of trauma and a lot of negative experiences, things that no child should be put through. I use my past as fuel, for my future, and I'm able to really empathize with children that are going through similar things, because I've been there. I know how it feels. I wanted to be a social worker. My job at North County Lifeline as a youth partner is working in a clinical setting. I work with the therapist and the psychiatrist that we have. I kind of had like a negative experience with several social workers in my past. I didn't want that to continue. I didn't want that negative legacy to continue. I hit it off right away with ACE Scholars, and It was nice to just be able to come into a place and know that everyone there is not judging you. Oh, great, there's this former foster youth program at Cal State San Marcos. This is amazing. How do I get involved? How do I get connected with them? And, how can they help me kind of adjust to this big, scary 4-year university experience? I remember not sleeping many, many nights because I'm worried about how I'm going to eat the next day, how I'm going to keep my gas tank full, how I'm going to get to class, how I'm going to get that book that I need, or how I'm going to go on this required field trip. Any incidentals, if you think about any person's life when they have cost for things and incidentals that come up that are unexpected. I feel like all of those with a foster kid are doubled. Every donor that gives money is like some kind of guardian angel. They may feel joy writing the check or donating the money, but it can never amount to the joy that it feels as a former foster kid to get a sum of money that means rent or means books or means tuition. It's empowering, it's motivating, it's helping me to follow my dreams and to be the person that I want to be and to be able to be an advocate for kids that are going through those tough things right now and to really be a mover and shaker and to reach my full potential. Having a donor support, having that financial support, having the people support is the success for a college kid, for a foster kid in particular. Helping a foster kid to break that statistic, that is what a donor is doing.